Epiphany is a song about the concept of the Holy Trinity and some of the obvious contradictions involved with it. We all know the first commandment, I'm your God, you shall have no other gods besides me. Yet at the same time, there is this concept of the Holy Trinity which involves three kind of separate parts that are at the same time all kind of the same being. And I have trouble understanding that kind of entity that this is supposed to be. You know, is it one or is it three actually? And actually, I'm not the only one having trouble understanding that. Richard Dawkins quotes a couple of Catholic theologians in his book The God Delusion that gave it a shot at trying to explain that, and their explanations were so vague and cloudy in a way that they didn't really make any sense at all. And I have a problem with trying to believe things that someone can't really explain to me in a way that makes any sense to me or that I could follow with my rational mind. And then there is also a large number of saints in Catholic mythology. Dawkins lists this hilarious website which mentions all 5,400 people that were ever declared saint by the Catholic Church, and those saints are at least to be considered demigods, you know, because they're capable of things that no other human beings can do. They can cure people and whatnot. And so on one hand, it's one God, you know, the first commandment, I'm your God, you shall have no other gods besides me. On the other hand, there's all these people that are at least like, you know, somewhere in between human beings and gods, and that's an obvious contradiction there for me, and this is what this song deals with in a bit of a polemic, kind of funny way. You know, it's not too serious. Musically, it is quite an unusual track for the Ocean. It's as it mainly consists of piano and vocals. The vocals for this song were heavily influenced by Trent Reznor, who is one of my main influences when it comes to vocals, and that's the same for our singer Loic, so that's where we function together very well in terms of where we want to go and what we like. It starts with just one vocal line really, and then builds up. The second verse has a second line coming in, and then towards the end there's a third line which is almost screamed, but it's really far in the back of the mix, so you should check it out on headphones. But it really adds to the depth and the density of the part, really. Like I said, it's a very unusual song. It's a lot of a lot of fans will probably hate us for that, but I don't really care because I play the music that I like to play and that makes sense to me. And if people go with us, then great. If not, then sorry for everyone who feels disappointed for having a non-metal track on an Ocean album. It is not a metal track, but we were never merely a metal band. You know, we've always had these influences from different genres of music. We've always had classical instruments being part of our approach to music, and that's what makes it interesting for us, and hopefully also for the people out there. You know, and I know that the people who really appreciate this band do so because we're trying to institutionalize change and try to do something different with every album, and that means expanding our horizon and trying things that are probably not expected or that people are not used to. And that's why there's going to be more songs like Epiphany in the future for sure, or Ptolemy Was Wrong. But there is also going to be heavy tracks. You know, it's all part of the whole big picture, really. And I think there's a certain red thread that goes throughout all the songs on this album and on all of our previous albums too, actually. It's a certain way of how we use harmonies and how we work with atmospheres and moods. And it doesn't really matter if you construct these harmonies if you play them on a piano or on a heavily distorted guitar. You know, it's essentially the same thing. The musical content is the same. It's just a matter of instrumentation and style then, and I've always tried to be as open in that regard as possible towards any other kind of musical realms and influences. So I understand why some metalheads may give us a lot of shit about songs like Epiphany, but then again, people should just move on and focus on the songs they like and face the fact that we're always gonna do stuff that doesn't fit any genre or is not going to be like purely metal or whatever, because we're not a metal band in that case. So you should give this track a chance, I think.